Alright, hello once again, Jeff Scott of Rankin Technical College. And as part of the Rankin Technical College AWD, or Application and Website Development program, and in particular the AWD1111 .NET Framework with Web Databases class, I've created a series of videos based on the textbook for the class, Pro-ASP.NET MVC 5 5th edition, in A-Press text by Mr. Adam Freeman. And the book has 27 chapters. I've already done several video presentations on the book and other things. But I recently finished a 4-part series on getting started with Entity Framework 6, Code First, using MVC 5. And now I'm going and doing the opposite, so to speak, and doing it with Data First. Now, the other one that I did, literally everything was combined into one document. This one, notice, is in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parts. So I'll probably have at least 6 lectures for this. All right? So let's get started. As it says, using MVC Entity Framework and ASP.NET scaffolding, you can create a web application that provides an interface to an existing database. This tutorial series basically shows you how to do that. All right. The tutorial starts with how to start with an existing database and then quickly create a web app that enables users to interact with the data. Remember, you can do code first, as we did before, when you write classes that will basically become, so to speak, tables. And the properties of the classes will become the database table fields. All right, here we're going to have an existing database, and we're going to build a web application that allows users to interact with the data. All right, it's going to use Entity Framework 6, as we did before, and Model View Controller 5, as we did before. All right, so they say the prereq is Visual Studio 2017. Well, we're on 2019. No big deal. So set up the database. To mimic the environment of an existing database, we'll first have to create a database with some pre-filled data. All right, and then create your web app that connects to it. This tutorial, as it says, was developed using LocalDB with Visual Studio 2017. We'll do the same, but we'll use 2019. So we will launch Video Studio to start with, create an SQL Server database project, and name that Contoso University Data. So this is different. All right. So we've already got our code first that we did previously. All right. You've seen that. Remember when we run it? And I don't want to waste too much time on this. I'm already a few minutes in. So, but I'm going to close this one now, but I just want you to see it. And there it is. All right, we can create a new student. We can edit a current student. We can show the data or details for a current student. We can delete a current student. Now, all we put in there for these, all that we put in there for these, all right, were stuff for the students. In other words, I did not go back in and do the same thing for the course and for the enrollment. Now, should I do that? I could. How's that? So in other words, let's just see how fast I can do that. I've got a home and a student. Let's add a controller. Try to do it very quickly here. Add the model class here. We'll do enrollment. Got the context set up already. We want this to just be called enrollment. I believe I did the right one, so we'll find out. We'll know in just a second. I'm going to close this student. It'll create an enrollment, and there should be an enrollment here now, and there is. All right. So if I take this enrollment one, all right, and I run that, I'm just going to view it in the browser. I should have this now for my enrollments as well. There's my enrollments, and I can do the same kind of thing I did before. I can edit, etc. I'm not going to show you that. All right, but I'm going to close this and very quickly come back in here and do one more. Add one more controller, another with entity framework, course. That's already set up. We'll set this to course as well. Add. And again, that will now bring up a new controller here and a new folder called course in here with a create, delete details, etc. Let's close that. And let's bring that up in the index. View it in the browser. We should have our course stuff up here. Not only that, because this is the default, just to show you very quickly, I should be able to come back here, all right, and go to students from there. There's students. I should really change that to students, but that's okay. Courses. There's the courses. I don't know if we even had instructors and departments. We could put that in though too. What was it? Students, courses. There is no enrollment. All right, but we could bring that up too. So in other words, I could come here and type in enrollment, I believe, and there's the enrollment. All right. So again, I should really change the name of this so it's got the name. But short story long, I made that longer than it had to be. So file, save all. We're going to stop that run, and I'm going to start up Visual Studio 2019 again here. And I'm going to create a new project. This will be different. All right. Now, I don't know if there's SQL Server is listed in here or not. This is one I've never looked for. So let's see. SQL Server Database Project looks good. Next. All right, and they want us to call this Contoso University Data. I'm going to call this DB first. It is in my code first, which I don't want. I instead want to save it into my database first. So I'll move this up. Database first. Select folder. There it is. It's in database first now. And create. Says you now have an empty database project. To make sure you can deploy this to Azure, you'll have to set the Azure SQL database as the target platform. I don't care about that right now. That's totally fine. I'm not going to do that. So, you know what? I'm trying to be complete, so I will. How's that? To set it, open the properties for the project. Project, properties. Select Microsoft Azure SQL database as your target platform. Target platform. Microsoft Azure SQL database. All right, so that's done. Okay, so let's close that. You can create the tables needed for this tutorial by adding SQL scripts that define the tables. Right-click your project, choose Add New Item, select Tables. Right-click your project, select right-click the project. Add new item. And what we want to add under tables and views, we want a new table here. I've not done this before, as you can probably tell. All right, and that new table will be called student. All right, this is neat. I've never done this before, so this way. Now, to save time, I am going to go back into the document here. And I'm going to grab all of this. That'll just create the student table, okay? And it'll tell me my primary key is the student ID. So the easiest way to do that then is to come in here. I think I could put that into here. All right, after I do that, I'm going to click now. Normally it fills it in up here too. I'm not sure why that's not happening. Something's happening now, but I should be able to do it down here and have it fill in up here. For some reason, that is not happening. I don't know why. I've not seen that before. Whoa! That kicked me right out of and right back into Visual Studio. Well, I think I lost probably what I was working on, but I don't know. So I'm going to right mouse click on here again, choose Add, New Item, Tables and Views, go down to Table, put Student in here, Enter. I'm going to manually do it. It's going to take a little bit longer, and I'm sorry for that, but that's just the way it is. So. This will then become my primary key. So 13 minutes, I'll at least get this table done. I'll be an identity specification, and it'll be true, 1-1, that's fine. Next is last name. It's an nvarchar of 50, and it can be null. Then we have first name. That'll again be an nvarchar 50, and it can be null. Enrollment. Oops, I don't know what happened there. Enrollment date, which is a date time field, and that can be null. And then finally, that already is set up as the primary key, so let's see what we've got down here. Create table student, student ID int, not null, identity, (1-1). All right, last name nvarchar 50 null, first name nvarchar 50 null, enrollment date, date time. I'm going to try to put this thing down here and see if it takes it. That is right there. Primary key, cluster ID. It's clustered. Student ID, ASC. Okay. And now, in the past, I was always able to come in here. I thought it always had a update database here, so not sure what's going on. Well, let's try it. Let's run it. Not sure if it worked or not. Well, there's student1.sql. So I have something in there. Oh boy. They want us to add 2 more tables. Try to get rid of that. It doesn't look like it needs that clustered index. All right. Whoops. I am at 17 minutes and 20 seconds. So what I'm going to do, if you look up on the screen here, I'm going to just add these 2 tables. So I'm going to add them. At least I'm going to try to do it, see if I get this stuff to sync up better than it previously did. So I'm going to right mouse click again on here, choose add again, new item, table and view, table. The second one is course. Add that. That's the course, so I'm going to again try that. There's course.sql. Rename this. Just gotta call it student, not student _1. So, whoops. Alright, so that one's done. File or folder with the name student.sql already exists on disk. At this location, you must choose another name. That's interesting. I guess I'll put it back then to the way it was, student _1. That's fine. Alright, and then finally I'm going to go in and I'm going to close this. And I'm one more time going to right mouse click, choose add, new item, tables and views, table, and this last one will be enrollment. Alright, and I'm going to come back in and grab everything from here, copy it to the clipboard, go back into here, remove that, replace it with this, run that. Alright. So I have now created the schema for all 3 of my tables to my knowledge. They're right there. Alright. When I come back in just a minute or 2, I'm going to come in and add the following code to the post-deployment script. All right. It says it simply adds data to the database when no matching record is found. So merge into course, merge into, well, I might be able to do all these right now. So let me grab all these, copy it to the clipboard, and close that. Right mouse click, add, new item. I don't know, is there a query in here? Table, trigger, don't see query. Fantastic. Okay, it's letting me add this script, so I'm going to grab that. Now I can execute it. Good, it looks like it put in all of my data. All right, I've got to be I'm at over 20 minutes, so I'm going to stop right now, pick it up quickly.